channel, guys. Today we're going to go over just a few small things that I probably wouldn't put into a whole video for each item. So I just kind of put a couple of things together that I've gotten somewhat recently, and some I've had for a while, but haven't dedicated a full video to it. So this would be kind of a catch-all, the handful of little items. So yeah, let's get into it. So we'll start with some of the items I've had the longest. So this guy here, it's a German World War II MP40 magazine. It is a ground dug relic. As you can see, it is in pretty rough shape. I put this through electrolysis, which I did do a video on the electrolysis process, but I didn't really talk about it in much detail, the magazine itself. It actually the spring still works, but I tried a few different things with this. I went through a lengthy electrolysis process and just brushed it with a somewhat softer brush. And it worked out well, but I kind of wanted to go... So this was an experiment. A couple of the German stuff I did an experiment with, and I'm not stoked on how it came out, but... So after the electrolysis, I then put this in a Rust-Oleum bath, yeah, I think it was Rust-Oleum. I put that in a Rust-Oleum bath for quite a while. Now the difference between the electrolysis and the Rust-Oleum is the electrolysis took a lot of the rust off of it. The Rust-Oleum it pretty much made it bare metal. So you can see that bare metal look to it. And then I went even further, just kind of trying to experiment and do my own thing. I sprayed it in a clear coat to further, stop rust from happening. It's glossy, so it looks wet all the time. So that's probably the thing I don't like about it the most, is it just looks wet all the time. But there you go, a World War II ground dug German MP40 magazine. Next, we have a ground dug German MG15/MG34 double drum magazine here. As you can see, very rough shape. I went through the exact same process as the MP40 magazine, as where I did electrolysis, cleaned it, Rust-Oleum, then clear coated it, hence why it also looked wet. This guy's missing the front. You can see metal is very rough around the edges, still pretty strong here, and it's missing that top part. There would be a little carry handle, be like a little saddle, it'd go on 8mm. But yeah, so there's that guy. One of the few ground dug relic pieces I have, so that guy displays pretty cool. Over here, we have a World War II era Thompson submachine gun 30-round magazine. You can see it's got a little bit of pitting just from age and storage, but other than that, it's in pretty good shape. Also, still, spring is good in there. Strong metal, no issues as far as holes or anything like that. Picked that up at a gun show a while ago, and just never showed it off because I wasn't going to dedicate a whole video to it. But yeah, Thompson 30-round magazine. I picked up my third two-tone 1911 magazine from World War I. So that brings up the count to number 3. I'd like to get one more because I have a second 2-magazine pouch. So I just want to grab one more, complete that, be done with it. But yeah, picked that up at probably the last gun show I went to for relatively cheap. So there's that. This guy I got quite a few years ago when I was still living in New York. I got it from a work buddy. This says it's 105mm. Right there. So his story was that his dad brought this back from Vietnam, obviously cut it and was using it as an ashtray. It was sitting out on his dad's front porch for years. He never used it, didn't really care about it. Knew I was getting into collecting Militaria. Asked if I wanted it, so I was like, yeah, sure. Threw him like 20 bucks or whatever. And I'm looking it over, and like I said, he told me his dad brought it back from Vietnam. So I asked him, I said, do you know what date's on here? And he's like, I don't know, 60s or 70s, something like that probably. And so I was looking at it, and it's actually 1943. 1943. 105 millimeter. It's got the lot. So yeah, when I told him it said 1943, he was pretty surprised, but he still let me keep it. So I thought that was really cool. So he wasn't expecting that. So that was the first piece of artillery I got. This guy was actually my grandfather's, who my grandfather was in the Navy, I think in 1945, so I think he missed World War II. He didn't fight in World War II, but he was in there right after. And my uncle actually gave this to me when I was home for Christmas. He said that him and his brothers, my uncles, used to play with it when they were kids, and he thought I would appreciate it. He found it in the garage, so he gave this to me. And on this one, let's see, it says 90 millimeter. It's got a date of 1945 on it. So right there at the bottom, there's a lot of marks on it. Like I said, they played with it as kids, but right there, 1945. And 90 millimeter up at the top there. On this, it's really hard to make out, but I saw a couple of other versions online. So it's got some writing on the side. Very hard to make out. But when I looked it up, it says CTG 90 millimeter blank M394, and then it says 4 guns M36, M41, and M54, and then it says CHG weight or WT 2.20 pound LB pounds. So yeah, must be a blank training round or something, but still thought that was pretty darn cool of my uncle to give me that from my grandfather. And the last one, I actually just picked this up today. It is obviously cut down, but this bad boy, it's a 14 pound, so I'm guessing that was probably the size, the weight of the actual projectile. This is a German artillery shell, part of a shell, obviously again cut down. That was made in November of 1917. And that one you can actually kind of make out. November 1917. And let's see, it says 682 on it, and then SP255. And then right here in like the primer area, it says 14 pounds. A couple other things. I can't pronounce the freaking name of the company, but it does say, it's hard to make out, it's PATRONENFABRIK. So Petronenfabrik. Butchered it. I don't fucking know. Not German. And then the second one is KARLSRUHE. And it looks like it's got 2 little symbols stamped in between each word. And then, like I said, November 1917. So I just grabbed that today at a little local military surplus store for like $20. So thought that was pretty cool. That is my first World War I era artillery piece. So stoked on that. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Like I said, I just want to do a little quick kind of catch-all on some stuff that I haven't done videos on, and I really wasn't going to dedicate a full video to. Just turned out that it was mostly artillery and magazines, so kind of gelled together. Yeah, that's it. And then, like I always say, subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell, all that crap. Let me know what you want to see. Talk amongst yourselves. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me what you got. All that kind of crap. I like hearing from you guys, and I look forward to doing some more range videos. I've still got a couple of guns I haven't shown you guys as far as shooting yet, so I want to do that. I want to do more ballistic gel heads at some point, but that shit's just really expensive, so we'll see. Until next time, be good, guys.